All right, you heard me? Listen, it's top of the evening, you heard me? You know I'm out here, you heard me? Look, you know I always gotta come by the water to get my think on, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm sitting back chilling, you heard me? So, cause, you know, every time I look at the water, it just remind me, I keep telling you that same, like Proverbs 21st chapter, first verse, when God said, the king's heart in the hand of the Lord, like the rivers of the water, he turn it whichever way he wish. You know, like I tell you, like he said, he can soften somebody's heart or harden it, you hear me? God said in the word, all power belong to him. Amen? All power belong to God. You know, I'm going somewhere with it because a lot of people be like, oh, I'm mad Elon Musk, or I'm mad about Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. Everybody that's in a position of power, God put them there. Whatever God wants to go on, gonna go on. If we have a war, it's time to go to war. You heard me? God, listen, when God puts somebody in a position of power, that's who he want there. You heard me? Let's get that straight. All power belongs to God. So no matter how everybody view it, God put them there. Amen. So this is where I'm at with it, you heard me? This is where I'm at, you heard me? And we gotta stop judging people because of how we feeling about them, or they didn't do something we liked it, or you know what I'm saying? It's like this, you heard me? This is where I'm going at, you heard me? This is where I'm going at. See, in the word, this is where I'm going at. It said Pharaoh was a wicked ruler. You heard me? But let me tell you something. Even though Pharaoh was a wicked ruler, God put him in that position. God was in control the whole time. Think about this, you heard me? When Pharaoh sent for Joseph, he was still that wicked ruler. See, God can use anybody to help you. God can use anybody to show you love. God put him in that position. He just held holding the power. If he was to get beside himself, God would get him out of that position. Yeah, like he did that to King Nebuzaradan. Like you got beside yourself, you wanted people to bow down to your golden image, and he laid up there like made him lose his mind for 7 years. Then he came to himself and know they had a God. God would do that with anybody. So this is where I'm getting at, bro. Stop worrying about politics, you heard me? God in control of all that, you heard me? All power belongs to God. And don't never forget God in control. You heard me? This is why I look at the water. Look. Take a good look how that water going that way. Look, it's going that way. Tomorrow it might go this way, it might go this way. You heard me? See, God in control. God said the king's heart in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of the water, he turned it whichever way he wished. He could soften people's heart or harden it. This how he stay in control of everything. Cause just think about it. What if somebody you love always was there, always kept it real with you, always, this would be like your God. You heard me? So the minute they hurt you, you feeling some type of way. You heard me? You didn't fell in love with a human being more than you didn't fell in love with the person who created the human being. You heard me? You gotta know that like a lot of people like gotta come back to God, you hear me? That's why he allowing certain things to go on. You heard me? God in control the whole time. You complain about this, you complain about that, you heard me? But at the same time, look, God need men that's like that. That's gonna stand up, you heard me? Yeah, because they got people it ain't time to fit in no more. It ain't time to fit in when you get called to in a position like a power, you gotta speak up on stuff, and a lot of people ain't gonna like that. You heard me? And on top of all that, people be laying up there trying to get over on people, and sometimes people gotta be in a position that can't get bribed. Now you can't bribe me, now we want this. You heard me? And that's how it is, you heard me? Like, even relationships get tested off bribery. If somebody could come pay you some money to turn against somebody, guess what? That was the test. If you would have shut that down, you probably would have had a big blessing coming. But people don't see it like that. You heard me? And then you'll wonder, right, after you took that money up, everything went sour. All money ain't good money. Everybody know you can't walk up to Jonas and say, here goes some money, do this. You heard me? I'ma call it what it is. If my heart ain't right with it, if the vibe ain't right with it, I ain't doing all that. You heard me? I ain't doing nothing against my morals, and I ain't doing nothing to nobody that ain't done me nothing. You not gonna make me hate somebody that didn't do me nothing. But I know God in control. You heard me? I know God in control, and that's what I'm trying to stress to the people. You heard me? Stop worrying about who in power. God got them in power. You heard me? And guess what? Guess what? When God put their mind and their heart on something to do, they gonna do it. You heard me? All that trying to control and power, that's the illusion. God in control. You heard me? You gotta know this, man. You gotta know this, you heard me? The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Like the rivers of the water, he turned it whichever way he wish. You heard me? God, listen, bro. See when Joseph was counted out in that can? He touched Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh's son for that boy suddenly. You heard me? When God wants somebody to move for you, he gonna put them on your mind in a funny way. He gonna put them in a position. Check this out. They gonna need your skills. They gonna need your skills to where they tapped in. Guess what? They gonna send for you. It go down like that. God in control of all this here, man. But you can't lose faith. You can't let some letdown, discouragement. You can't let none of this witchcraft. You can't let none of this rubber. You got to keep your faith, and you got to know God in control, man. God in control. This God is my witness, you heard me? I done seen it too many times, you heard me? I done seen it too many times, you heard me? Like, and they gonna know, bro, you heard me? If sometimes you be the only Bible people see. You heard me? Sometimes you be the only Bible that people will see, bro. You heard me? God is still God. God is still in control. No matter who think they in control, God gave them that power. God gave them that position, you heard me? God did that for them, you heard me? And if they get beside themselves, he'll take them out the position. You heard me? You gotta know who in control. That's why I'm trying to tell you, like, stop worrying about that, you heard me? They're in the position for a reason, you heard me? Yeah, because sometimes it's time to go to war. God is a God of war too. Yeah, man. It's like that, you heard me? So, and then he can't use no coward. Nah, see, you can't be like scared to speak up and stuff. You heard me? Yeah, you gotta be able to, yeah, I'm speaking up on that. And you won't worry about who against you, because God with you. When God be for you, don't worry about who against you. He telling you they gonna come against you because I'm for you. That's just how it go. You heard me? But he know your heart. He know you bold enough to speak up, and this what it is with you. Yeah. So be mindful of that and stop worrying about, you know what I'm saying, politics. You know, God got that going on. This just how it is. This just how it is. You heard me? So be mindful of that. Just know God got the last say so, man. God got the last say so. You heard me? And I wanted to encourage you. You heard me? Like, stop panicking. Just stay prayed up. You heard me? Stay prayed up. I don't care how it's looking, what you're going through or nothing. You heard me? God still will come out of nowhere. You heard me? He still will come out of nowhere. So be mindful of that and just know God in control, man. Amen. Stay up. Stay focused. I love all y'all. One.